Every man has his techniques, and they're all different. And when you know mine, you'll be dead.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome back. Another episode of Dead Air Radio. I'm your host, Steve Fletch. I have my co-host here, Mitch Hartman, and we have a guest. We haven't done this in a while, actually. Mitch had a guest,
right?
We haven't done this in general in a while, minus the last episode. Having a guest on, it's been a while. So we have Nick from Minus Skateshop. Nick, how's it going?
Good. Hanging out at the shop. How are you guys?
Wonderful. Never been better.
Good as can be, right?
Yeah.
So this is the second episode to come from Minus Skateshop.
Yeah, right? Earlier it was the hat wall. Pretty cool backdrop, but...
Yeah, Niall really put a lot of thought into that one.
Yeah, here we have a bunch of deluxe boards. So, that's tight.
That's because Niall's boards are sold out, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, flying off the shelves.
Even if they're not, just say yes.
We have one.
Oh, and then what part of Indiana are you in?
Technically Indianapolis. It's Broad Ripple is the actual what it's called, but it's part of Indianapolis.
Yeah, very cool. So, how long have you had the shop for? What? First of all, let's say this. So, what put the idea in your head to open a skate shop?
I mean, I don't really know much about anything else. But really, I just wanted to give something to the city that I felt like it was lacking at the time. Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird time in my life where I was I think I was 30 at the time, 31, and I was working at a shop and just kind of wanted to do a shop with it that I felt like the city was kind of looking for, having a bunch of different brands instead of just, the elements of the world and stuff like that.
Yeah, we kind of said that off air of it's cool that you have the stuff everybody wants, not just the, oh, this is the stuff I'm into, so this is what I carry.
Right. I mean, it's a lot of chasing brands was a fun thing to me in the beginning. Just being I remember I made a list of brands when I was starting the shop, just trying to be oh, it'd be crazy if I could get this brand or this brand, and just kind of check them off the list. And that was a really fun thing to do. And yeah, I mean, I always I wanted to have this thing where a kid could come in and be hey, can you order this? And I didn't have to go to someone else to explain how to order a board, special order one board, or that was kind of a big thing to me, because the shop I grew up at, it was oh, I really want this. And the owner would go so out of his way to try to find it for me. And that's kind of what I wanted to do for kids and just the community. And I don't know, it's fun to hold events and just my shop, my rules, do whatever the hell I want. That's tight.
And that's the best part. You can kind of direct it where it's everything. I talk about it all the time, but people's shop merch, your shop merch is so fun because it's so random and it's all the bullshit that we've bonded over the last couple years of this random obscure, pop reference of oh, that's hysterical that he made this sticker of Britney Spears and Paris Hilton.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a thing where it's it took me a really long time to start being okay with injecting my personality into certain things. Because in the beginning, it's dude, it's hard to brand a skate shop because you want it to be for everyone. And there's always going to be that kid that was that's so dumb. And it took me a really long time to be I can still do this, and that, and it makes sense, where it's oh, I do this one thing and people are why'd you as long as I have a reason for doing it, I feel it tracks. Stickers, on the other hand, that's just me throwing shit at a wall.
Yeah, because who cares? It's a sticker.
Curious, that Holy Trinity sticker or whatever. it was a thing where I was worried about, like, if I put this on a shirt, people might be like, what are you doing? But on a sticker, it's so like non-serious that it's like, it's a sticker. If you don't want it, don't put it on your board or throw it away.
Absolutely.
Like, it's just, and I always thought that was fun. Like when people from out of town come in and they're like, oh, do you have any stickers? And I can give them like this huge stack of like the most random shit they've ever seen. Like they'll always go through it and think it's like, oh, this one's really funny. Or be like, why the hell did you do this? And I'm like, I don't know. Daniel, who works here, thought it like he wanted to do an and one rip for like All-Star Weekend. And, you know, I was like, yeah, I mean, sure, let's do that. And I was weird about it in the beginning. Like I grew up like and one was like a thing. But I was like, I don't know if this is going to track, but we'll do it. And everyone loved it. Like it did really well as far as like the shirts and stuff. And that's when I kind of realized I was like, okay, I can like the branding is that there's like very like the image is that there's like kind of no image, that it can just be random references to things. And yeah, just kind of fun.
I feel like DOA did a bunch of that. Like you did that like bow nose rip.
Well, that's funny with those stickers too, because I did it. Yeah, there was that, and I did this. The run of stickers from that run was the board graphics that were like, I can't make this a board graphic, so I was like, I'll just make stickers. I want to make stickers, and yeah, I think I had a Police Academy 4 one. Like I was like, nobody's gonna know what this is. I can't make a board, but that was like one of the first movies I saw skating in. So I was like, I want to do something with it, but I was like, I'll make a little 2x2 sticker. And, you know, I always thought it was fun. Like stickers were a cool way of ideas that I didn't think I could sell. Let me just, you know, make them stickers.
Yeah. I mean, I had a really hard time with like the first couple years coming up with board graphics, coming up with like shop board graphics, or coming up with t-shirts. Like it was like, it always felt like this is going to make or break it. It like felt really serious. And then, you know, now I'm just like, my friend the other day was like, hey, I screenshotted this. Like I have this funny screenshot, and I was like, yeah, I'll make that a sticker. Like, that's fine. That'll be funny.
Yeah, especially because the stickers, like you said, they're so easy and like just a one-off. Like, oh, I made this. I only made 100 of them or 500 of them or whatever, and you're just done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's half the fun of it.
Hold on.
I think I took a lot of it from like,
Jesus, you scared me. It is very cool. I'm trying to make that paper. Don't bother me. We just moved into a new house that's like super old, but so I figured there was like something on fire or pipes fell down and broke or something, and she wants to go see the sunset. So, yeah,
sunsets are pretty.
Yeah, it is actually. It's like
that's the next sticker.
India.
Yeah,
I have a window now, so I can see these things. Yeah, that's what we'll do. The next one, our dead air sticker.
A dead air sunset.
Like, yeah, well, Mitch, that's like even like the Bootleg 3000 thing, and it was like we can make clothing out of that. Sick. I love that video. You know, and you're like perfect, and you handled that.
You don't have to make a lot. You just make what people want, and
yeah. Super fun.
Dude, I wanted that shirt so bad, but I couldn't get myself to, like, it felt like I was like I was faking the funk on that, like with that shirt specifically, because I grew up like a straight edge kid. So it was like that stuff was always like now I love Baker 3. Like, I love Baker 3. Baker 2G and Baker 3 are so good. But when I was a kid, I was like, I really was like so straight about like, this is bad for skating. You know, like, this is bad. So kids
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Where even now I look back at it and I'm kind of like, damn, this might not have been the best look for, you know, to be pushing on to like 15-year-olds.
Yeah. I mean, I remember working at a shop at the time and having Baker 3 coming out and having to like check IDs for kids to buy it. Like, it was like no one under 16 should be buying this video, or their parents have to buy it. And you have to tell parents why. And I'm like,
Any good stories with that? That sounds pretty amazing.
oh man. I remember like parents being like, well, why can't my kid just buy this video? And I was like, I mean, there's a like drinking and like kids drinking and a lot of like smoking weed and stuff. And they would be like, okay. And they'd buy it. And then they would come in later and be like, you didn't tell me it was that bad. And I was like, I did. It was that bad. Like, what do you mean?
Like, I made you come in, so clearly there was concern.
Yeah, it was a funny time because I was like so embarrassed. I'm like, I am carding a kid to buy a skate video. You know, kind of looking back on the time, it was like that video was like kind of gnarly.
Yeah. I feel like we did something similar with like the CKY videos.
Oh yeah.
Like once they started getting to that point of like, I definitely feel some kind of way about selling this to like a 12-year-old.
I mean, I remember having to explain to a parent what CKY stood for.
Don't laugh. Camp Kill Yourself, isn't it? That was a band. It was like the brothers band.
What CKY means, and I'm like, how do I dodge this? Like,
like, oh, it's just the name of their group.
Yeah, not awesome to tell a parent that.
Yeah, be like, just so you know, like, there's people like shitting off a roof in this video.
Yeah, like this is your 14-year-old is going to be watching this no matter what. They're going to find a way to watch it. Like,
yeah, everybody had a copy.
Yeah.
He's going to launch himself in a shopping cart down your driveway. Be careful.
Yeah, we take no responsibility for this.
I mean, that was like the master tape, though. Like, it'd be like one friend bought like Osiris the Storm, the other one bought Dying to Live, and everyone just recorded them onto one tape, and they had like 9 hours of skate videos.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And CKY,
if I wasn't working at a shop at that point, shit, I would have been.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I never saw Questionable, a real copy of Questionable, until this winter.
Really?
Like Plan B Questionable. Because we didn't have it at the shop by us. So my friend and I, like in '92, whatever, like we had like a triple dubbed copy of it that we like traded something for, and you know, fucking Arbuckle had it. He had two, because I have both covers. And when we went to that moving images thing in Queens, and he had to have Jacob Rosenberg sign both of them or some shit, and he had both of them, and I'm like, let me see that. I've never seen this. You know, and he's just like, yeah, well, I have both. It's like, cool, dude. But I never saw them. So yeah, lots of dub tapes.
The shop that I grew up around, it was called Rise, and it was owned by my friend Buddy. And him and the other guy that worked there, his name was Ryan, the biggest skate nerds. Like Ryan had every video ever. Like every video that came out, he just bought it. So when I had my first knee surgery, all I would do is like hang out at the skate shop, and he would make me watch every video. Like he'd be like, oh, you've never seen this? You've never seen Questionable. So he'd make me watch it, and he'd explain to me why it was like so impactful, even though I just wanted to watch Misled Youth or, you know, but it was cool because it made me like start to appreciate different stuff in skateboarding. Like it's easy to pigeonhole yourself when you're a kid. And it was like,
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you are allowed to like Jamie Thomas, and you're allowed to like Jason Adams, and you're allowed to like Jerry Sue and all these different skateboarders. And now I'm just like, I love skateboarding. Like I'm just such a dork about it.
Yeah, like you can love every different aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like a big part of like what's happening right now in skating is like people are so like into the stuff they're into, and if you don't like it, it fucking blows their mind.
Right. Oh, and that's the worst is like if I don't like something and a kid asks, like they come in the shop and they ask like, oh, how do you feel about this? It's like part of me is it like I get like nervous about it. I'm like, oh, are you going to think I'm like super lame for not getting it or whatever, like, or just being like, oh dude, that's like not my thing. But you know, I can watch it and appreciate it for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, there's videos that come out that I'm like, whew, that was a one and done. And it's, I mean, I know you guys are exactly like that. So
yeah,
there's plenty of skaters that like people absolutely are, that's like their bread and butter. Like, and it's just for some reason their skating doesn't do it for me. Like when I was younger, like whatever, like 2000s ish, like Zared did like nothing. Like everybody was like, "Oh, Zared's amazing," but like I just didn't get it. Like something about his presentation and skating was just like it just didn't get me psyched. But now when I look back at it, I'm like, "Oh shit, this is amazing." But there's always gonna be people, and that's why it's so subjective. Of like, this is the things I'm into, and it's okay that I don't like what you like.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay. I don't know if you guys ever talked about this. What was your guys' first skate video?
To see or own?
Like, to see.
I mean, Gleaming the Cube doesn't count. But I'm just going to say Animal Chin. I'm going to throw that one out there. It was probably like that or Street Skating with Robin Nottis. But Animal Chin. Which was a fun
first
one.
video
So that was
I
actually
bought,
like a pretty good one. What's that?
Sorry. I said sorry. The first video I bought was 4-on-1-12.
Oh, wow.
That was also
so
Jimmy
like,
Grecky's first 4-on-1. I'll never forget.
Yeah, I feel like him and I talked about that at one point.
Yeah.
See, that's cool because you got like a lot of different skating all in one video. So it was like, because like my first video was Misled Youth, and then, but that was like I was at a sleepover and one of my friends had it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh wow, like this.
Yeah, because that's such like a, you know, it like hits you in the face right away of like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit.
But then the next video was the storm. So like I had the most like,
and you kept skating?
Yeah, the storm is so sick. Watch it. That shit is so tight.
I have not seen the storm in probably 15 years, maybe more, but
and that's the end of this episode. Thanks guys for coming on.
But yo, you gotta break out and I gotta break out.
Dude,
he's trolling us, Mitch. Nick's trolling us.
I like the storm. The storm is like,
really?
Yeah. I mean,
is it because it was bigger than life at the time?
I mean, it was just like,
God, it's bad.
Dude, you had like Canton Russell that would just like ollie off buildings.
Yeah, Canton Russell, though, like that was the dude that Plan B didn't want on help in his tricks. He was so whack.
I mean,
sorry,
the team was
Russell, if you're out there, you're probably a nice guy. Yeah,
like the team was so big, but it's like, it was like, I don't know.
Well,
seeing all of that.
I think this goes into what you're saying because I was already like peaked at that point. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So I was already kind of, I don't know. It was the shoes and see, we like Rodney Torres in it. Like that was like the one dude where like he gets a pass.
Yeah, he 350 the courthouse.
Yeah, with the Osiris's on, which was always like, oh god, poor guy, you know. Yeah, like maybe if they had, isn't Dave Coyne in that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is like, but I mean, I guess people like Jerry and who's the guy on fucking
Louis
Fake and Joy now who runs
Louis
that
wasn't
bowl
on
cut.
that. Louis wasn't in. He was in Subject.
Louis wasn't in that.
No, he's in Subject to Change.
Okay.
Which the Louis Jerry part in that is
really good.
It is great.
If you cut their feet off. I don't know. It had such a stigma. I'm so sorry. I'm not picking on you, Dick.
No, you're fine.
This is literally the point we're trying to make.
Yeah,
I know people who that was their first video, and they're still like, and it's like, you know, me, I'm like, that was your first. I wouldn't have skated if that was my first video.
See,
no way. Maybe I would have. I don't know, but God, I never owned that video at all. Like we would watch it and make fun of it,
and that's fine. I think that's sick.
You still watch it, Nick? You watch it? Still?
I watched it pretty recently, but it's also like because I had this like weird introduction where it was like, you know, Misled Youth, The Storm, and then on Summer 2000, which was I think it was summer. It was the Danny Way documentary.
Jeez.
And it was like, but that was like, I think that's what like made me want to be like a skate nerd. It was like, there's this thing that like I still like watching like skate documentaries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to know everything about this thing that I was doing. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll stand by the fact that I think the Storm's sick. I mean, there is definitely some, there's a lot of illegal stuff in there. There's a lot of like thinking that skating a bump to bar at a skate park, like little bump.
That was going to be one of my things. I'm like, all I can picture is people skating like flat bars at skate parks.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of that, but then you have like.
But that was the time though. Like you still had that in videos. I don't even hold that. It was the goddamn shoes and the music and like Dave Mayhew. Oh God, there's so many people who Brandon Turner. Doesn't Brandon Turner like rap his own song, or somebody raps a song about Brandon Turner in that video, or him and Smolik share a part to something?
Smolik skates to his own song, right? The Shorties video. That's the Shorties
video. He does. I know James Craig skated to a song about his part.
Yeah. Well, so were you a big Blind James Craig version guy too? Like Blind What If, and what was the Blind video? Like not when they had the one video after James, like that there's like really bad. What's the one Krieger had like an 8-minute last part in, and he just skated tables in a.
That was What If.
Rink. That was
yeah.
So did you like that video?
There's parts of it.
I was so. Yeah, it's so crazy. I was so checked out from that stuff. Then.
Awesome. I think it's funny. He does. I think that's the one where he does the Nada spin with the iPath box sitting like in the corner, so you can like it's in the frame, so you can see that he like rides for iPath. I think that's the one that he does that.
I think the same. That's the one where he skates like the Block Party song.
Yeah.
He was good. I would think I was so bummed out about like what Blind became and like those graphics then, when I was just like,
oh, yeah, it's so different than the Blind.
This is like was my childhood, like my Grail brand, and this is just like not the same. Like James Craig, I always thought was the worst. We used to make fun of his arms. Like he was like the original wacky inflatable, the sign guy, like Tory Pudwell.
Yeah, I was gonna say you better mention Tory Pudwell if you're saying that.
Man. But it's funny just how these hit on. Mitch, were you into that video?
Which one?
Like Blind What If and The Storm?
The Storm, definitely not.
You weren't. You were skating, you were like, what is this crap?
No, but I worked at a shop, and the competing shop is the one that had the Osiris account. So, like, I never wore Osiris's. Like, we didn't get down with those.
Oh, I for sure had a pair of
like $100, $120 back then. Like back then, those were bank. I remember
I was skating Kalis's at that point, and they were $100 too.
Yeah. I had I think I had 2 pairs of Osiris. One of them was the Chad Fernandez Pro model.
Oh, God, he's in that video too, isn't he?
Fuck yeah, he is. Sessions Hollywood 16.
He's had a shit list of
skating the Flame Boy with the afro.
Yeah. Globe Opinion, Nick, was that one you had on heavy repeat too?
Oh, dude, him skating a White Zombie?
So funny. I remember just Ryan Kenrich in that, and I was like, all right, this is cool. That's it. He gets the pass. And Jamie Fortune, who was like a kook. But I was like, oh, his part was okay in this too.
He was in that digital. Was he in that digital video too?
Yep.
Yeah. Because this part insane was insane. Like
really good.
Saying insane was just super corny, but yeah. I remember him like switch front boarding handrails and just being like, dude, what is going on?
Yeah. He was on that really bad version of Santa Cruz.
Remember when then he was on that True Love Collective or something, and it was supposed to be a non-profit, and they were like scamming money, and that was the end of him. Like that was it.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
there was something. It was called like Love or True Love Collective or something. Yeah, and they were like non-profit, and then they were like taking money and doing stuff, and that was done. End of his career. He didn't own it. It was just weird. He was just kind of. He used to ride for Powell.
I was kind of in that same boat you were, where like you watched Misled Youth. I watched Welcome to Hell as like the second video that I ever saw. and was like, "Oh, this is like the shit that I want to be doing. Like, I want to jump down stuff." And
I think I needed some of that. I really blew it. I think I needed those videos.
Then I got photosynthesis, and I was like, "Oh." And I'm being honest, like it took a while for me to like. I wanted to consume skateboarding, so it was every video was awesome. You know, it was like. I remember like going in the CCS catalog and only ordering videos that were the longest because it had the runtime. So it'd be like, why would I spend $20 on a 20-minute video when this one's an hour?
I can get Hallowed Ground for the same price. Did you have that one? You've seen that? It was like a Hurley video, and they skate in an airplane hangar. It's terrible.
Damn.
I don't know how long it is. Maybe the length. It might have been short, and you dodged a bullet with that. Volcom Chichigoff, did you have that one?
Okay. Whew. That was one of the videos that everyone liked, and I didn't get it.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
I don't understand what we're watching. Like, this is a weird art project with a mini ramp section. And, I mean, that video came out at the same time as, like, heavy videos, right? Like it came out the same time, like Sorry. Yeah. And
I was gonna say it had to be like that Sorry era, like maybe not too long after.
Yeah.
You guys like that video too, right? Sorry? Really sorry. Sorry, I'm not sorry. All of those.
I don't care.
He hates
amazing
flip videos.
Yeah.
I like Sorry and Really Sorry. Get that claymation shit out of here.
Oh yeah. Extremely Sorry is hot garbage.
My friend Zach's gonna watch this, and he stands by Extremely Sorry.
The launch into the Grand Canyon bullshit? No way.
Dude, I tried to watch. Like we had this like really funny argument one day, and he was like, "No, Extremely Sorry is sick," and I was like, and I like went home and I like got off of work and just was like, "I'm gonna watch Extremely Sorry," and I was like 10 minutes in, I was like, "Fuck this video. There's claymation in it. I can't do this." Like, but. There is skating in that video that is really good, but man, like...
Yeah, the presentation and everything is just so off.
Which is the one with Tom Penny, and he's like... It's like he's like on a trip, and it's all like... That's the only part from any of those videos I liked. That's Sorry. The song with the Velvet Underground, I think he skates to. That was awesome. Rest of it, trash.
Oof.
Dude, nuts.
I can't stand Arto. I get yelled at about this. My friend Trivs always is like... Arto's the best, and I'm like, he's like the most generic skateboarder ever.
Dude, I love Arto.
Yeah, so crazy.
He hates Appleyard too.
Yeah, I can't stand Appleyard.
Dude.
Yeah, he's the worst.
I know.
I mean, he's got two of the best kickflips in skateboarding. The one over the zipper rail.
With his circus shirt on. Worst. Yeah. Crappleyard.
Crappleyard.
I can't stand him.
The comments in this video.
This is funny too.
This is
right.
Whip shirt. So Osiris is sick.
Osiris and a flip board. But I didn't like flip, but I've easily had 50 flip decks because they were so flat, and that was it. Like we could always get them at the shop. 7.5. I probably rode 10 Artos, 10 Appleyards, 7.5 flip decks because they were so flat and just spray paint them. And I skated so many of those.
See,
weird.
I love. It's weird. Videos never pushed me buying the product ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I owned one flip board, and I was like, yeah, I'm good on that. But I love flip videos. Same with
I had a bunch of that.
Nick Madi. I love that video. I think
Another
I maybe have one pair of that shoes.
Do you remember the Papalardo interview? And then he's like, yeah, Menik Madi was the shit, and like 2 years later, nobody cares about it. I thought that was funny. That's one. You don't remember that?
No.
It was funny when he said that. Yeah. But I remember that was a big video. I watched that a lot. But now I wouldn't want to watch it.
Really?
At all. Yeah, I don't
think I'd watch it back now.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say the Arto part, great. in that video.
See, I always figured like dudes like that, like you just know they're gonna do everything and they're just gonna land like I don't know. It's like there's no excitement. But I don't mind Rodrigo TX, and he's just as good, if not better. But like he looked cooler.
It's the beauty of skateboarding.
Yeah,
So that's the end of it. Yeah, you can have as many. Because I Rodrigo TX never got it. I was like, this dude's really good. Don't care.
see, this is the
But
conversation that like
it is what is cool about skating, and this is what's awesome because it's not all the same. And this is when too you talk to somebody else, and then you do find like I'm in Indiana now, and there's one other random person who likes Rodrigo TX. Like we're gonna bond, you know, until they say they like Arto, and then I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. You know, there's all of that stuff. This is the cool thing about skating. And then I'm sure we'll all find some certain common ground here, and we're all going to be like, yep, that was the best.
I mean, yeah, we'll get there eventually.
yeah. What's it called? The Venn diagram, and all three of us match up in the middle at something.
Well, here, Nick, Eastern Exposure 3. Did you like that video?
Yes.
All right, there we go.
All
is well
gets all
again.
three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that was just. But the Tampa part wasn't your favorite, right?
yeah.
You
That
can
is
say
his
no.
favorite. That's where we lost
That was
him.
my joke. You're probably, like waiting, like, oh yeah, and I love the Tampa part. Said nobody ever. Was the
No,
that was the fast forward.
but I got into like East Coast skating. I got into it like pretty late. Like it was like I think maybe Static 2 was when I started like
Okay.
really paying attention to like East Coast skateboarding, and then I went on a whole like rabbit hole into that era of skateboarding, and it's
Were you excited for the release of Static 2? Like, were you looking forward to that video, or was it just like, oh, this came out, let me watch it?
okay. So Static 2, my friend had it, and we watched it, and I was like, oh, this rules. Then my first time to New York, we went for the Nothing But the Truth premiere. Hilarious video. But we like turned the corner and there was like a line of people, and it was for Static 3 because it was premiering the same weekend, and we had no idea. No, like asked someone, and I was like, oh, what's this for? And they're like, Static 3. So I was like, well, this is what I'm doing, and got in that line. And then I went to the premiere of Static 4 and 5, and then I didn't go to 6. But
Wow.
yeah, I've always been
We
like,
might have crossed paths.
at what?
The Static premieres.
Which one? 3?
I went to 3. Did 3 have the Chapman Loose Ends premiere
Yes.
also? Okay, so
Yeah.
I didn't go to that. I went to 4, 5, 6, and I remember Danny Montoya's part had the biggest cheers in the whole video. I thought that was crazy.
I went to 4 and 5 in Florida.
Okay. We
Yeah.
didn't cross paths.
3, yeah, the Chapman, that was like my introduction to Jake Johnson, was that
Mhm.
Chapman video. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like,
Yeah.
that was like mind blowing. And then immediately got on Workshop.
Mm-hmm. So this was not to go off here, but so when he was on Chapman, like he was under contract because Chapman, being from Long Island, they were like the local brand here, and people kept like hopping off. Like they would ride for Chapman and just go somewhere else, and they contracted him. But I don't think it was like a pay contract, but he wasn't allowed to send his footage anywhere. He couldn't do it. Like he had a contract. He had to wait till it was up, I think, or he broke it early to get on. Because when he was in New York, like everybody, he was just like the best skateboarder. And like everybody was like, you should get on this, you should get on that, you should get on this. And yeah, he couldn't even send his, like to get shoe sponsor, like send his footage out.
Oh, he wasn't even allowed to do shoe sponsor stuff?
Nothing. Like they had to control his footage. Yeah.
That's
So I think it was an investment. Because a lot of the time, too, they would do something and then everybody would quit. So it's like, all right, we're going to invest in this video. You guys have to at least, stay on X amount of time. But yeah, and then Jason Dill saw him skate, and that was it.
I mean, his video part in
that was crazy, just like out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's insane. That dude, so good. Like that Workshop part, like in Minefield, like that video was a very big deal to me.
Mm-hmm.
Where that video means nothing to me.
Really?
I don't know what, but like I was so not into anything workshop at that point
Okay.
that I just did not care one bit about that video.
Damn. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, like,
I like
I know
Jake's
people.
part. That was it. Like I remember being hyped for that. And Dill.
Wow.
I love Dill. Dill was so excited for Dill.
I mean, I'm a Kirchart fan. I love Van Engelen. Like, that video's... I mean, shit, I have the premiere poster hanging at the shop.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, like now I know, like obviously the video is like really good and it's got incredible skating in it, but when it came out, it just was not hitting on what I was into or cared about, and I was just like, yeah, well, it's, yeah, Alien has something.
Well, that was like the beginning of the end of that video too. Right?
Right.
Bear's in it. Kirchart.
Yeah.
I know you're not gonna. Well, which one? Wait, what was Ben DeGrow in? Ted DeGrow.
Ted DeGrow was in
He was
Mosaic.
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 Yeah, that was the beginning of the end.
Or is that Inhabitants? No, Mosaic.
Oh,
right?
Mosaic. Because it was... But, like, there was also the... they had that edit in the cinematographer project that was really good. The workshop.
That
That was
was-
awesome.
Yeah, that I loved.
That and
Yeah.
then they remember they were doing those like little edits, and it was like living in a box or something. And it was like them skating
Life
a skate
splicing.
park.
Life splicing.
Yeah, those were cool. Those were cool.
Yeah, I
Those
love
are
the
sick.
Nick Mysterio one. I remember that. Yeah.
He's awesome. Mitch, you like that dude?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
he's
agree
sick.
on stuff, guys.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
friends.
he's sick. He's so cool. Who is the other Canadian? Not Canadian, Australian guy. There was Alex Campbell, who was like on like Australian Workshop or something. Do you remember him? He was really good too.
Okay.
He was like if Nick Basirio and Reese Forbes had a baby.
Yeah, like I said, it was,
He was
kind
good.
of...
I don't think he transitioned to the U.S. Workshop at all. I think he was just on like Australia Workshop, but he was sick.
It was so hard for like international dudes. If you didn't come here, like you couldn't make it.
Yeah, there was a weird time because like wasn't like when Kalis had Seek and it was like the offshoot of Workshop.
Yeah, and he had like Flo Marfang.
Yeah.
And,
Alex
Those
Carolino.
two.
Yeah,
yeah.
but then they also had fucking Greg Myers, and it was like, this brand sucks. You have fucking Greg Myers and his
Mikey
little like
Taylor.
threaded bracelet on here. Yeah, this makes no sense. Like,
And those boards all had natural tops or shiny dip tops.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I for sure owned a Seek.
I did
had
too,
one
but
too,
it
and I
pissed
was
me
like,
off
oh,
that I was
Caleb.
like, why am I riding a shitty natural top board?
I don't think I was worried about top stain yet. I think I was just really into anything that was like, I don't know. I think I was into like anything that was new at the shop. Like if a new brand came in, I was like the first one to buy the board. I was like so into like, oh, I want to know what this is. Now, I would never do that, but
Yeah, but kind of going back to what you were saying about like never buying flip boards, but you love the flip video. Like obviously, I love that bootleg video, but I could not skate bootleg boards. Like the shape just did not work for me. So I'm like, I love this brand, and I'll buy whatever to try and support it. Like I'll buy a T-shirt or whatever, but I could not skate those boards.
I was always like really heavily influenced by the dudes around the shop. So there was like a huge point where a lot of dudes were like riding for Consolidated. So I would like skate Consolidated boards. Now, nope. But but I mean, at the time I was like, dude, this is sick. But yeah,
I mean, it's always like when you're working at a shop or whatever, like whatever the people are most into is probably what you're going to be into. Like how many fucking zero boards did I ride? Hundreds.
not enough.
But
think I
yeah,
had
looking
one.
back at it, it's like,
Yeah. I mean, I remember for Christmas one year, I got a Seek board and a Consolidated board. And I remember, like, I would
how
go
bad
to...
were you that year?
How what?
Santa punished you.
Dude, it was a 7.6 and an 8.5. I did not care about board size at all. I was nuts. But I remember, like, what I would do is I would, like, go to the shop and put stuff on the counter, and then I'd leave, And then my mom would come in, because we like lived pretty close to the skate shop. She would come in and pick out from the stack of stuff. And I remember like getting those 2 boards, and I like came to the shop to set them up, and they're like, yeah, we tried to talk your mom out of these 2, but this is what she picked. And I was like, no, this is awesome. I'm psyched on this.
That's cool.
So-
I have a story about this stuff working at a shop. I'm sorry. So when I worked at this one shop, there was the little Grom kids that would come in, and one of them, the mom came in, and she's like, oh, my son Patchwick, his birthday's coming up, or it was Christmas or his birthday. And she's like, can you pick him out like 4 shirts and 2 boards? And I was like, yeah, cool, no problem, you know. So I pick out what I think he'd like, you know, like a chocolate shirt and a girl's shirt and, you know, whatever board, and I leave it in the back. And the next day the kid comes in, and I said, the kid's probably like 15 at the time. And I was like, hey dude, don't tell your mom this, but she wanted me to pick out stuff for you, but I want to show you first in case I don't want to be the one, and then you're like, I don't want this. So you can pick out other stuff if you want it. And that night his mom came in. Why did you tell him what he was getting? And I was like, what? This kid we used to call CCS, because he would come in with his CCS catalog and be like, I want this. And we're like, yeah, we don't have that. And then we would get it in, and he'd be like, I don't want that anymore. And it was like, dude, you suck. So yeah, he came in, and I saw him, and I was like, why'd you tell your mom? And he's like, oh, whatever. What's the big deal? And I was like, well, she yelled at me. Like, I tried to, like, you know, do you a solid here, dude. And he's like, well, whatever. And I was like, all right, fuck this kid.
Yeah, you're out for life.
Yeah. It sucked. His mom owned
We got
like
to the
a
point where we
child's
started
clothing
making
store around the
people.
block from the shop. The willy-nilly.
Yeah, we got to the point where we started making people put a deposit down for special orders.
I mean, I get it. Like, you get burned on like a special order, dude, especially when it comes to shoes. It's like, I want this shoe, and you're like, okay, and you order it, and it's awful. Like, it's just such a, like, that shoe will never sell. That's why we don't have it. And they like want it, so you order it, and then they're like, I'm good. You're like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, like it's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sucks.
And like picking
We had
out...
one kid. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm being a bad host. No. We'll have the
I
guest
was just going to say, like, the Christmas thing you were talking about, like, picking out stuff for kids, nuts. Like, parents supposed to be like, hey, Jimmy's been in here twice. What does he want? And I'm like, can you show me a photo or anything?
Yeah,
Like,
who the fuck is Jimmy?
Yeah, like, I'm like, I don't... And you, like, I mean, on certain occasions, I do know, but at some points, I'm like, maybe just go with, like, a gift card. Like, that might be the smartest route. And like, no, I want to get him something. And then they'll like, okay, well, you know, here's a safe bet. Take this board. And they're like, well, will you grip it? And I'm like, well, you can't return it if it's gripped. And then the kid comes in and is like, why did I get this? And I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, your mom made me grip the board. Like, sorry.
It's funny. It feels crazy now to look back at it, but like when I was working at the shop, it was like 2002, and everybody's name was in our mailing list system. So like, if you bought something, we put it like under your name. So when people came in for the holidays, we could look it up and be like, oh, that kid skates 7.5 Baker boards.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's insane to like think
sick.
back now that we had this massive list of like, oh, here's all your purchase history. Like way back then. It's like nobody does that. Nobody keeps a record of like what your name is when you buy at the shop.
Yeah. No, I mean, but also like kids change everything so much now.
Right.
A kid will come in and be like, oh, I only ride quasi boards. And then all of a sudden they're buying like a Theories board, and then they're buying a Violet board, and they don't care. They're just whatever.
Yeah. It seems like brand loyalty has kind of gone out the window.
Very much.
It's hard. Because also now there's so many brands, and there is constant stuff. So that day when the kid needs a board, if he saw, oh, there's a Violet edit out. Cater's sick. I want to, there's so many brands. It's so hard to stay loyal,
But then it's got to be hard as shit to be the shop owner who's like, what do I order next?
Yeah. I mean,
Mitch, that's why we don't own shop.
Yeah. No, I mean, it literally is a guessing game. Like, for months, Violet was the best-selling board brand we've ever had. Like, it was...
Really?
Yeah. Like, it was every... Kids would come in and say, I want an 8-inch Violet board. And I'd grab it, whatever. And while I'm gripping it, I asked him, I was like, hey, why did you want, like, specifically this Violet board? And he was like, well, I just think it's cool. And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, I was just wondering, because, like, it's the only brand that kids will come in, and if we don't have it, they will just leave and buy it online. And the mom said that was what we were going to do if you didn't have it. And I was like, man, like, that was, like, the first time I'd seen, like, brand loyalty in a while. Like, even with shoes, it's like, you've got a dude that, like, only skates dunks. And then all of a sudden they're, like, really into half cabs again. Like, and you're just like, well, I mean.
You're like, oh, what edit just came out that somebody who's wearing a shirt with a half cabs?
Well, Mitch, that's like, we were strictly dunk for a while. I'd say just randomly, we were both skating dunks, and then it was Tiago's. Yeah. And then it was
But that's
Tiago's.
like at least a similar thing. To go from like a dunk to a half cab seems crazy to me.
Oh, happens all the time. It's
well, once they did the insoles, when they had like the pros, is that right? The pros now are the ones with like the fancier insoles.
Which the half cabs?
The half cabs. Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones with the little checkerboard on the heel.
Yeah, the like comfy cush or pop cush. I can't remember what they're calling it now.
Because when that came out, I was like, I want to try these again. I loved half cabs, and now my feet won't hurt, and I still couldn't do it. But that did get me to switch when I was like, oh, they redid these. And then I did try it. I bought like 3 pairs, and I was like, I can't skate these. And then I had 3 pairs I had to give away.
I mean, it's crazy watching kids go like cupsole, Volk. And I kind of do it a little bit, but it's like, I know the difference. Like I know I can't skate a Tiago shoe. There's no chance. Like that, because I typically skate like a really thin shoe, but yeah, kids are just like, I don't know. I like this one today. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess that's like the ignorance is bliss. Like, I don't know. There's a difference. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I would have never learned about wheelbases. That was
Thank you,
a terrible thing to learn.
Thanks, Niall. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this when we were talking about the mailing lists. So I'll blur out the address when I get home, but so this is what I used to do to get like, did you guys ever do dumb stuff like this? Do you see the name?
It says Eric Pupecki.
It says Eric Pupecki on it. And then my address. Okay. I used to get mail, like my mailman must have thought we had like 30 people living in my house. It was like Stevie Williams, Eric Pupecki. Like that was all the mail that came to my house. Was Eric Pupecki
use their names to like
I would put their names on my address at the mailing lists. I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
So this was funny.
You guys ever send the $1 in an envelope for like stickers?
No. I never did that. I almost wanted to do that with Strangelove recently. So I think they say to do that. Send like $2. I might have to do that one. That sounds like fun.
I mean, that's like a kind of a sick thing to bring back. Because when I was a kid, like that was so cool. Like I'd ask my mom for $1 and then ask her to mail this $1.
Yeah, mail this $1.
Yeah, to a random company, and then stickers would show up. I was like, this rules.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's actually tomorrow. I'm doing that. Strangelove.
Yeah, like I remember ordering workshop boards, like getting the catalog and ordering direct from workshop when I couldn't get the boards I wanted where I was living.
Oh, yeah.
And just being like, this is amazing. They send me a catalog and a calendar and all these extra stickers and this stuff. But like literally doing like a credit card over the phone where it's like, the 2000 or whatever it was.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was
wow.
crazy when you think about like all the like, if you ordered anything from like CCS, I think you had to like fill out your credit card number on like a piece of paper, all the information, you just
Right.
print it off. You're like, here you go, guys.
And you mail it to some burnout skater who's working in the warehouse.
Wow. You guys were ahead of me. My mom still to this day is like anti-credit card. So we had money orders. And I'd have to mail the money order. And they would come back all the time because they're like, yeah, we don't have this anymore. So everyone was like, just call with the credit card. She's like, we don't have credit cards. You get steal your identity. This is like in like 1990. And she'd mail a money order, and it would take forever, and they'd just mail it back. Like, yeah, we don't have these shoes anymore. And I was like, awesome. This is great.
I always
Yeah,
thought
the workshop thing was actually cool because they would like put on a headset and go into the warehouse and like walk through and be like, oh yeah, we got this one or we got this one. It's like kind of sick at the time.
owning a shop now, I always think it's like insane that like especially with shoes, it'd be like they would mail out this catalog of all these shoes they have in size runs, and it's like, how many were you buying? Like, how many 10.5s did you have?
I don't know. Even now, like I had a friend that worked at CCS for a while, and he would show me like, oh, we just got Dunks in, and it would be like, 300 pairs or something.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
so
crazy.
crazy. Like, I mean, I guess that kind of comes with like the amount of volume. Like, yeah, because that stuff's like, yeah, that stuff's crazy. Like, having that many of one shoe is nuts.
Yeah, but I even remember like buying like BAM boards back in the day, and we would get like 50 of them at a time, and then the next week need like another 50. It's so weird when you see like those trends of like I'm sure like if you got Violet boards, you're like, oh, I sold through a dozen in a week, I need to get another dozen.
Nick, how many of those were you getting at peak Violet time?
I mean, I was probably doing like 26 or something. Like, just when it was like a good drop, I'd order like 26 boards. But it was also just, like, kids were asking. We got whatever, baker's dozen, whatever. They show up, and then I'm like, oh, we need to order more. And then same thing happened with like, before that, like it happened with Limousine, where it was like, oh, Limo was like moving stuff.
Did that all die down?
A little bit. It's very graphic dependent now. Like, I have a couple dudes that will only ride like a Limo board, but a lot of times they're not like, kids will be like, that'll be their first choice, but they will kind of, stray from that. They won't like, I don't like this graphic, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Where with Violet, it was like Violet or Amati.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because you're looking at a Violet board with just like a peace sign in the middle.
Right. Yeah.
So they're breaking ground on graphics.
Yeah. I mean, and also, but those were only like, I think they're like $65 at retail.
Yeah.
So it was also just like one of the less expensive boards on the wall. So
it's crazy because like an FA is the most expensive board. It's up there with like.
Yeah.
Well, those were like that for a while, right? Like people had to have those. Like, I want an FA board. Now nobody cares, right?
Yeah. Now I think a lot of that was like ingrained in people's head because of the shape thing. Because they wanted like the PS6 like crazy shovel nose that like, and once people found out that like Weekend does it on some boards and Quasi does it, it was like kids would come in and they'd just be like, yeah, I'll just ride a Quasi board, it's fine. Like, they were just like, it was set on that like big nose. But I think that's kind of that's a thing that's happening right now where like the wheelbase thing is hitting really hard. And then also like people are asking for like the very specific deluxe boards. Like a kid at the park earlier today asked, did you get those twin nose 825 Nicole House boards? And like, that's all he wanted. Or they'd want like, oh, I only want the Easy Rider shape. And I mean, it's awesome when you have that because it like makes you feel like you're like, I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
It comes in, it's like, yep, right here. When you don't have it, it's like, oh no, like I can order it for you, I guess.
Yeah, I'll have it in a week and a half.
Yeah, like, and the other problem is like, dude, so much stuff is at kids' fingertips. It's like, it's so, it feels like it feels kind of sick when kids are like, no, I want to buy it from you. Like, I'll wait. You can order it. I'll get it when it comes in. Like, because it's, kids can just buy it on the internet. And it's like, it makes it feel like pretty awesome when a kid's like, just stoked on like, oh, I just want to buy a board from the shop. And it's like, oh.
Right. And that's when I get into it with like other, randoms that I'm like, oh, I found this deal for 3 for $100 on the internet. And it's like, right, but what else is the internet doing for you? Where it's like, obviously you're doing other stuff to like make those kids want to support you and doing stuff in the community that's like you guys were talking about how you had that DIY and all that stuff. Like that shit doesn't happen if you shop on the internet.
Right. No, I mean, it's true, but there's also the thing that like a lot of these kids grew up with that being there. Like they, when you grow up with a cool DIY down the street, it's like they don't realize the work that went into it. And you also can't expect
it's always been there.
Yeah, you can't expect them to understand it. It's like, talk about it all the time, but it's like there are kids that this was the first shop they've ever been in. So to them, having 200 boards at all times, that is normal.
It's normal.
That is like normal. Yeah, that is baseline. So until they like, go somewhere else and they're like, oh, this isn't normal. Like
right. I have it pretty good at home.
Yeah. You can't expect kids or people to really like understand that or, like they're like, oh, why don't you have you got all these shoes. Why don't you have what I'm looking for? And it's like, I don't know. Got all these. Like,
yeah, wait till you go to the next town and go to their shop and there's 6 SKUs on the wall.
Yeah.
They have Vox. Yeah, they have Vox and Lakai.
Vox and 88.
Yeah. What a name for a shoe there. Oh, man. And I'm going to intervene one here quick, Nick. This is just a random off-topic one but so I've been collecting all these old slap magazines. I'm trying to get every issue up to the end of 2000. And so I have one here from October 94. And there's an Indiana article. And you probably can't see. I should probably text you a picture of this. I'm going to see the names in here, and if you know who they are, or if you've ever heard of them. So Fort Wayne, Indiana, how far is that from you?
2 hours.
Okay.
It's 2 hours north.
It's 3 hours east. So you're kind of close to Chicago, or are you 5 hours from Chicago?
3.5 to 4 hours from Chicago.
Okay. What's a Swinney Skateboard Center? You ever heard of that? Okay. Okay. And
Riveting.
Marbles, is that a spot? Lincoln Life Building? Hilton Hip? Okay. None of those?
But this is all Fort Wayne shit?
Fort Wayne, you said?
It must be. I don't know. It just says Indiana. And Dongo? Is Dongo somebody you used to skate with?
I do know who he is.
Okay. Buddy Best?
Yep, he's the one that owned Rise.
Okay. Mike Payton?
Sounds familiar, but I mean, I wouldn't be able to say, like, yeah, if he walked in the shop right now, I wouldn't be like, hey, Mike Payton.
And Adam Belts?
Adam Belts, I do know Adam Belts.
What did he ride for? Arsenal?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
He came in the shop somewhat recently. Yeah.
It was like, so. Yo, I was in Slap in 1994, bro. Give me my 10% discount. Man.
Is that everyone?
Yeah, that's it. It's a 2-page article, dude. It's only Indiana. I think that's like probably 1/10 of the pages. Back in 94, this thing's probably like 30 pages.
Yeah. What was is it a Buddy Best photo?
Let's see what he's doing. Let's see.
It might be the melon grab, maybe? There's
like a bunch of little photos in it. I'm so unprepared. I apologize. I should have had this I did have it marked, and I pulled it out. Hey, look, speaking of consolidated, there's a Karma Tashaff interview in this one.
I mean, I have a
Okay, let's
consolidated hanging in my house. It's fine.
Buddy Best sidewalk gap in Fort Wayne. So he's ollieing off of like some big ledge over a sidewalk.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah.
Maybe the one I'm thinking of was in like maybe it was in a Transworld. I think Transworld did an Indiana article as well.
All right. Well, while Fletch is digging through that stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
please,
gotta-
Mitch, take over.
I got a
I'm
random
blowing
one.
it.
So Niall said I have to ask you about Scour Skateboards.
Oh yeah.
What the hell is that?
That was a board company I did before starting the shop.
Oh, okay, sick.
Yeah, it was like
He said I have to ask you specifically about the Jockosaurus Rex series.
God. Dude. So God damn it, Niall.
Threw you under the bus.
Throw me under the bus. Yeah, so Scour was like this thing I did with a couple
Was
of friends.
Jonathan from Rhett on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just this
I've
thing
heard
I
of
did. It was like the idea was just it was going to be like we didn't have a local brand at the time, and I just kind of wanted to like be able to give my friends boards, and it kind of like motivated me to just like film little edits, and
making stuff is so fun.
yeah, and it went like way longer than I expected it to. Like when I moved, I have one of each board, and it was like 27 graphics or something like that, which
awesome.
then made me realize how many I had done. Yeah, and then the Jockosaurus Rex stuff. So that was like this like fun video series that I kind of did because I was like, I always like since I was like 18 years old, I always had a VX, so I would just like, go and film like. We'd all just go street skating, and I'd like grab like younger kids that I'd skate with at the skate park, and I'd be like, "Oh, let's go skating," and I'd take them straight street skating, and it kind of just like I did the first one, and I named it that because it was supposed to be a joke that my friend Sean, I think he called some like jock skateboarder dude in Colorado. He like referred to him as a Jockosaurus Rex. And I was like, damn, that is so funny. And then I just, I finished that video and I started making another one. And then I kind of was like, well, I guess I should just make the sequel. And then I was going to make a third one, but then that turned into like Scour. And I was doing Scour. Yeah, that's right.
That's all.
Did you have a shop at this time?
No, I stopped doing. I mean, in reality, Scour helped pay for the shop to open, but it was too hard.
Wow, impressive!
I mean, it paid for some of it, not all of it. A lot of it.
Still, just to even turn any sort of a profit on a small brand, that's good job.
No, I mean, thank you. It was cool. It was. I just had to stop doing it because it was really hard to brand two things differently. Like it was like I would think of one thing for one, and then I couldn't come up with something for the other, and then it like felt like it was all just meshing together. And in all honesty, it was way more important for the shop to stick around than it was for a local board company.
Yeah, and then looking back at it now, like, could you imagine trying to do a small board brand now while there's already a million board brands, and then on top of that, keeping a shop going?
No. Like it's hard to come up with shop board graphics, like that's hard enough as it is. I couldn't think of like, I need to come up with a graphic now. Like, cause that was like my first, it'd be like someone would just give me a graphic. Like one of my friends would do a graphic and they'd be like, here you go. Like Jonathan at Rhett did a graphic. And then, and then I would have like, like weird ideas where I'd be like, oh, I should use the Smash Skates logo from Thrashin' and make a Scour board out of that. And yeah, and it was like it was cool. It was super fun while I did it, but yeah, shop was way more important to continue going. And then I didn't have to feel like I don't know. I don't like trying to sell something that I'm doing. You know what I mean? Where it'd be like a kid in the shop and I'm like, oh, why aren't you buying that Scour board so you can support me twice? I don't know. That kind of feels gross. So it's like, I already like, I don't know. I appreciate that kids even like come into the shop and support the shop. I didn't want it to be something else where a kid would like feel bad about not buying a Scour board because they wanted to ride a real board or something. Like, yeah,
that makes sense. Like it's like you said, it's you don't want to push your own stuff too much, but at the same time, you're like, well, of course, I want you to buy my stuff first.
Yeah, I mean, I think I stopped doing it when I like there was a time when they both existed, and a kid like legitimately came in and was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm not buying a Scour board. I just kind of want to ride this." And I was like, "Ooh, that sucks." Like,
yeah, you don't want to put them in that position
that way. Like, that's gross. So that's why I kind of like,
respect that.
Yeah, let it go a little bit.
Nick, this is kind of cool, and like, I hope you're not like bad at taking compliments or anything, but like, this is all pretty crazy to me that like there are these instances where people are like, Nick, I guess you're a pretty cool dude. Like, I feel bad not buying this, or you have these kids. Like the stories you're saying, it's kind of cool. Like the people that go into your shop like appreciate it, and which is cool because I feel like there's not a lot of that out there. So that's pretty cool.
It's incredible. Like I'm there. I don't know. I feel really lucky that the scene like supports the shop the way they do, because it is going to that trade show and like talking to people and like talking to shops and like, you know, you have the shops that are like crushing it and they're always going to crush, you know, like, and then you have the shops.
Who would you say, not to go off topic, so who would you say those shops are? Do you have a couple like
the ones that are like, I mean, Uprise does an amazing job at everything they do. Premiere, like, I feel like Jake's doing really good stuff with Nocturnal right now. And like, I mean, Nocturnal's always been so sick, but I just know Jake, so shouting him out on
I mean, there's a reason you're 20 plus years in the game.
Yeah. But like, yeah, the shops that like, it's like a lot of legacy shops where you're like, no comply and stuff like that. Like, you know, you hear shops are doing like Orchard and stuff like that. Like I have like a core group of like shops that I talk to all the time. And it's like, I'm really happy to hear that like that like core group that I like, my Joe at Blacklist and Noah at Home and all them, like it's just like awesome to hear that like, oh, like things aren't terrible, you know, like, because I never want to be like, dude, you posted it today about like about Crushed or whatever, you know, and it's
Brian at Crushed is
dude, like that.
How's the shop in DC not, you know?
And it's, yeah. So, I mean, super off topic, but it's just that thing where it's like, I feel really lucky that like people want to like support the shop the way they do, because it's been.
But that's why I like doing these episodes, because people that we know might not necessarily know about Minus, but like neither of us have ever been there, but we both have Minus gear and we like rep it regularly because like we've gotten to know you and you like what you're doing.
I appreciate that.
It's like just getting to like travel around and eventually go to these shops and like meet these people in person. And it's like, of course I'm going to rep this shop. Like Seasons, I was repping Seasons long before I met Trevor and CB in person.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's just, you see the community that they're building and how they're doing things. And it's like, oh, I want to be involved in that.
Yeah. I mean, there's always that thing where it's like, you know, my wife loves to go to shops. Like that's her thing. Like when we go to a new city, she's like, what shop's here? And I'm always weird about it because I love going to shops, but I hate being the shop owner walking into a shop, because then I don't know. I never want to be like the guy that's like, I own a skate shop, you know, but it's that it's cool. Like some of my like best shop friends I've met just because I like wandered into the shop in, Tennessee. Like Chase at Blue Flowers is awesome. Jason Infinity in St. Louis, like he's awesome. Like it's been really cool because I don't know. It's like you can sometimes feel like you're on an island when you're not talking about the shops. Like, what's working for you? Like, even though it might not work, it's like it's good to know. It's good to know that like, oh, in this town, like Last Resort is the best selling shoe brand. And it's like, oh, well, it's awesome. Like, that's awesome that it works for you. Not so much for me. Like, it does okay, but it's like, I wouldn't put it as best selling shoe brand by any means, but I don't know. It's cool. And we've all like helped. A lot of us have helped each other get like accounts and stuff, which is.
Yeah. Go, this person will vouch for me. And
yeah. I think all that stuff's like really important. So yeah, I think I just don't want to see shops close. So it's like, none of us do, but it's just like, it's like scary every time you see it and you're like, that one, like that's the one that closed. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, and it's so funny to see how it is now versus like 20 years ago, where it's like, oh, if you're friends with the people from this shop, you don't talk to the people from this shop.
Oh yeah.
Like the full vibe out now where it's like, now it's like all the shop owners hang out and they're friends and they talk all day long about like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to try and do this way. And it's like, it's not like, you talking to Jake who are 6 hours away from each other. It's like shops that are, an hour away from each other can, it just makes this community of like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, so we can do this. And
well, it all like the other thing that's like, it's always important when it's like, oh, if, the Blacklist dudes are coming to skate in Indianapolis, it's like they're going to probably stop by the shop, and if dudes are going to Cincinnati or Lawrenceburg, Indiana, they're going to stop by Blacklist, like, maybe they'll buy a shop t-shirt, maybe not, but it's like, dude, it's awesome to see dudes come in and just like be able to talk to dudes. So, I don't know. It grows the community and like, let us all be friends.
Yeah, of course.
Trying to play outside with our friends, like.
Yeah, I feel like LA is the only place that I go to on like a regular like skate trip where it's like we don't go to necessarily any shops because there's so many shops. So you don't even know where to start. Like I'm sure there's like plenty of people that are just like you guys, but it's like there's just so much out there. But every other time I go anywhere, it's like, all right, well, I'm going on vacation with my family. Like, I'm going to go see what the skate shop is here. Like, we went to Disney or whatever, and I was like, oh, I got to go to Plus and, like, just check that shop out because I've never been there. It's like, buy a shop t-shirt. Do what you can to, like, support these shops, even if, it's something new. But, and, like you don't like to go in as a shop owner. I don't like to go in as, like, a sales guy first.
Right.
And, like, if it comes up in the conversation, I'm like, oh yeah, I do this brand or whatever, but it's never like, hey guys, I'm here because of this. It's like, no, I just fucking like skate shops and want to go and hang out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, it's just cool to being able to like talk to people, but yeah, like you don't want to go in as a sales rep because then it steers the conversation in a really weird direction. Where it's
like, I just want to talk. I'm not trying to sell you anything.
Yeah.
If you happen to want to buy something from me later on, sick. But like, I don't need to introduce myself that way.
Right. Like I went into one shop and it was maybe one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had. I was just like trying to have a normal conversation and it was the most awkward. Like I remember asking about, they had a bunch of like dunks on the shoe wall, like 6 or 7. And I asked about like, are you seeing these things like trickle off from like, the insane hype they had for a window of time. And they acted like it was the dumbest question. Like, no, we sell out of all of them. And I was like,
really? Because I'm looking at them.
Like, cool. Well, I don't have any of these because I sold all of them. So I don't know what. And they just like acted like it was like super dumb. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go. Like, I was just trying to have.
That's the
like
when you get the vibe out of the shop. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because dude, I hate the cool guy thing, dude. When you go into a shop and you like get cool guy, and you're like, "Whoa, I thought we were past this." Like,
yeah.
like now
I had it like a year ago, and I'm not going to drop this shop's name because they're pretty established with everybody. But I was like, "Fuck these dudes!" Like, I don't need to ever buy anything from here again. Like, you know, one of those things where it's like the dude behind the counter didn't even lift his eyes up, even though you come in. It's like, all right, cool, I'm good.
I mean, I've always had that,
Especially
like,
in this economy.
yeah, right.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, like, you need like every pair of socks that sell. You know, like you need that sale. Or
Yeah, and I don't want you to like zoomies approach me and be like, "Hey, you should buy this, and what about this? And this would really go with this." But just like,
dude, you need your sky top.
that I'm a person.
yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I walked into Infinity. It was like Jason, the owner, was working, and I walked in, and he immediately was like, "Oh, where are you from? Like, are you from out of town?" And I was like, "Oh, this is nice." You know, like it was like, "Oh, we can have a real conversation," and it's not like, you know, not trying to get sold on anything, and it's not someone that's just like staring at their phone and like, "You need help, let me know," and they like look back down or whatever. Like, I don't know. Then I also try to give shops the benefit of the doubt, because I mean, everyone has days,
Totally.
you know, like I'm sure I've done that on like a really weird off day where I was like stressed out, or like we just dealt with Jordan 4 and a kid's coming in to be like, not a kid, like some dude comes in and he's just like way high energy, and you're just like, dude, chill. Like, holy crap.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know.
I just like I have such like a weird thing about like I just love the skate shop idea. So it's like I'm going to North Carolina for a friend's wedding in a couple weeks, and I'm literally plotting out my route to see what shops I can hit on the drive down. Because I'm driving by myself. So I'm like, oh, if I got to go this way, I can hit Embark, and then I can go to maybe this shop on the way down. And then, like, there's a shop in this little small town that we're going to in the middle of nowhere. Like, I'm going to go check that out too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It feels like it's cool to see what other people do with their shops as well. Like, I think that's kind of a, you know, like, cause you have like you don't know if you can touch anything shop, you know,
Yeah.
everything's like pristine, and you don't know if you can like, you don't know if you have to like ask for a t-shirt size, or if that's the only size they have or whatever. And then you have the one that's like, you can just tell it's like, just the most core shop that's ever existed. Like, it's dudes that just like did whatever they could to put boards on the wall. And like, there's a charm to that to me, where I'm like, damn, this is the most like,
Yeah.
these dudes do not care. They just want to sell skateboards to kids. Like, that's it. Like, they just want to have like their clubhouse. And
that was,
then you
I
in
went,
the middle, and it's like, I don't know. There's awesome
I
shit.
went to Crudco in Rochester, upstate New York, like super, it's like 7 hours from me. And I was camping like 2 hours from there. And, I was like, oh, I got to get down there, you know? And, so I took the drive, it was 2 hours, and then it was 7 hours back home. But like, I went in there, and it's like, there's wheel marks on the ground, and it's like, all right, cool. This is like a skate shop. Like, I remember being a kid going in the local skate, you know, and it's like, this is cool. Like, you know, it has that appeal of, you know, you can skate in here. This is cool.
Yeah, like skate.
And then, like, I appreciate like a well curated shop too, where it's like if you've been to Plush in Connecticut, their stuff is laid out very like cool, and like there's different ways, and like, all right, cool. So you have more stuff in the back. It's just like one of everything, but aesthetically, it's like pleasing to look at everything. But there's no
shop,
not cool by you.
It looks awesome. Like the photos I've seen, like that shop looks awesome.
Yeah, I was going to Boston like 2 years ago, and we stopped by on the way up there. I was like, oh, I really want to go to the shop and just see it in person.
Yeah.
And like the dude that was working, like they didn't have shop t-shirts, but they had some like Carhartt collab they did. So he was like, oh, I'll find you one of those, and we got to have your size somewhere. And he found one.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I think
Seasons and open, super small, but awesome.
those dudes are awesome. I love what those dudes do. They did that Mean Girls hoodie that is
So good.
I was like,
They did a Friends one too.
yeah, I would never wear a pink hoodie, but I for sure bought a pink hoodie thinking, I'll maybe wear this, and I just still have it. Like, I'm like, this hoodie rules. And I remember it's like, I remember I'll just DM them randomly, just being like, dude, you guys kill it. This is rad.
Yeah, they're awesome. Very cool. So how long has Minus been around? We didn't even get to the basic stuff yet.
8 years. It was 8 years in
8
March.
years.
Yeah.
Sick. That's very cool.
Yeah, 2017. Yeah.
And then do you guys do shop videos, or you just run with like the, was it county line? Like the stuff like
we don't really do shop videos. I feel like everyone is working on other stuff all the time. So it's like, it's like Niall's working on a theories thing and Aaron's working on this thing. And it's like, as much as I toy with the idea, it's like Aaron did County Line, and that was like essentially a shop video. Like, it wasn't a shop video. It was all him. I had nothing to do with it, but it was like mostly dudes that ride for the shop. So it was like, I don't know. I just wanted, my idea for the most part is just to like make sure I'm supporting those dudes' ability to keep skating and do what they're doing. And if they want to wear shop t-shirts, rad. If they don't, that's fine too. Like, it's not that deep. I just want to make sure that everyone, like, all those dudes are like as taken care of as I can possibly do. And that's kind of the, shop videos are just like, it's too hard to get all that stuff together.
Yeah, if you can get it done, respect to you, but
and it's like, I feel like I would want to like film something or like be in it in some way, but then I like don't want to be, I feel like I should be. So the shop was open for like 3 or 4 years, and then I made a video while Aaron was working on his videos. So like, I don't know, it's like, it's all just supposed to be like a community thing. So it's like, yeah, I made a full-length video. Aaron is making a full-length video. If someone else is making a full-length video, like, and they're shop homies, like, it's all just the scene getting together.
you're supporting it indirectly or whatever.
Yeah, because one of my friends, Grant, was making a video and his Instagram got taken down, and he couldn't get an Instagram, so he couldn't promote his own video.
Mm.
So like, I was like, oh, I'll just do it. So I like promoted his video for him, and it was like not a shop video, but it was like shop kids, like shop homies doing a video. I'm going to support that as much as I can because, like the more kids that are out filming or street skating, like that's way better than I could, like, that's way more beneficial to me than just like me taking 5 dudes and like making one video that they were going to kind of make anyway. Like, let them make their own thing and it be to their vision and not like me standing over someone's shoulder being like, no, I don't want to do that for the shop. Like,
yeah, this is the vision I have for the shop, and if it doesn't match your video, makes sense.
Anything else, Mitch?
No, I mean, we've been talking for a while and held back a good amount of our shit talk. It's not like our usual conversations, but that's great.
Well, I'm like the worst dude to talk shit with, right? I'm like,
well,
listen,
like the storm.
Right topic. So. I like some stuff I should hate, right?
The
Osiris.
Storm, yes.
I like that you're opinionated.
Yeah. I got an opinion on stuff. Some things
You
are,
should.
Some things are lame. Some things are tight.
Did the
Yeah, and I'm not going to think
McBride
of you any
Violet board
differently.
sell?
What's that?
Did the LeVar McBride Violet board sell, or nobody wanted that?
I don't think I got that one. I got Violet right after that board came out.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, this was fun. I like shit talking. Kind of.
Hell yeah.
Kind of shit talking, I guess. I mean,
And then, so Nick, if anybody out there wants to find you on Instagram, and I'll put a link, but it's at Minus Skateshop.
yep, Minus Skateshop. Go to the
And if
website.
they want to buy stuff off your website,
Yep, just minusskateshop.com. It'll take you to our website. So, yeah,
Sick.
hope people...
Yeah, obviously there's tons of shoes on there, so go check some
there's
shit
shoes
out
on
that you
there.
can find everywhere else.
We got some stuff, some things. Hopefully people aren't like, whoa, that dude sucks.
Yeah, what'd you say? There's 180 boards on the wall or something?
got-
board wall's 175, and there's probably 60 on the floor right now.
Yeah, so, if you're looking online and you can't find a board that you want, Minus might be the place to grab it.
It might have it.
so what's the smallest board? Do you have 7.5 up to like 9?
I think I have a mini in here. Probably got a mini board, but shop boards we do 7.75 to 9.
Who presses them? If you don't mind me asking, is that bad to ask?
No, we're going to be doing HLC.
Okay.
The last ones were Clutch, your favorite. Me and Niall love it.
Niall doesn't skate those, does
I
he?
didn't say Niall's actual last name. I meant love it.
Isn't he one of the blessed ones with his generator blanks?
Yeah, he gets...
Because
Yeah.
he's sponsored?
All of our Theories boards are always generator.
That's what they are, yeah. The Theories brand ones are always generator. Yeah. But he rides the clutch boards?
He does like clutch boards.
We
I
found
think
the
I would've
one.
liked them. I would have liked clutch boards more not having to deal with them.
Okay.
Like, they